What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Listen, I don't get to go live that often, so I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a shot, give it a shot, to go live because number one, I'm usually like extremely busy, like to the point where it's hard for me to go live. But then on the flip side, I'm still getting comfortable in front of the camera, y'all. So any of y'all that have been rocking with me for a minute, y'all know one of my biggest struggles have been getting in front of this camera, and going live gives that added pressure of like talking to a live audience, talking to people that's talking back to you, that kind of thing. So I've always kind of felt a little bit like I'm still not 100% comfortable talking on live in front of the camera, that kind of thing. So y'all gotta forgive me for not going live more often. I absolutely appreciate y'all for continuing to rock with the channel and being here for all of the content. My schedule is like extremely busy as well. Like I said, I'm a father of a toddler, y'all know that. And then I work my full-time job. I have several different businesses that I'm either a part of or I actually run myself, and then here with the channel. But I just wanted to jump on here real quick because I normally don't get a chance to go live, and I feel like I want to engage with my audience a little bit more. Get some feedback from y'all. Start a dialogue between the chat. I'm trying to see y'all comments. If like, let me know if y'all here and y'all, cause I know I see one person here. So if you hear, man, comment something real quick so I can see if I can actually read your comments. Just say what's up, say hi, what's up. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. Let me know y'all here real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't see y'all comments. I don't know. I don't go live that often, y'all. So work with me. But listen, this video right here, I ain't gonna be here, all night, but I just wanted to talk about when you start to apologize for things that the narcissist does to you, like the disrespect that they do to you. And I want to give like an example of how this kind of plays out, because I actually had a situation in my own personal like relationship with the narcissist where this played out that particular way, where they disrespected me, but because I was one of those type of people that wanted to keep the peace. What's good, bro? What's good? You said, hey, one of my best friends in here, man. Salute to you, man. Hey, good to see you. Hey, but nah, so listen, one of the things that I noticed in my go inward, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm still, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna definitely get with y'all comments in a hot second, but basically what happened in my situation was I really, you know, like empaths, we like to keep the peace. We love to like try to keep the peace in all types of situations. So we will go outside of ourselves to, you know, keep the peace. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of situations and a lot of times, even though we know we're not wrong in the situation, just sometimes there's like sacrifice, like that's what self-sacrificing looks like. That's what like, basically people pleasing looks like. So because we are a lot of times people pleasers, and because a lot of times we're self-sacrificers, we will go out of our way to apologize for things that we didn't do, like stuff that we didn't cause, stuff that we didn't do. So a lot of, in my personal situation with my son's mother, that's actually what ended up happening. Like I basically took on a lot of her disrespect. So I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I'm talking about so y'all can see it like firsthand, and how I ended up taking on the responsibility of the things that she actually did to me. So my gender reveal came. A lot of y'all probably heard this story if y'all have been following the channel for a while, but basically I had been ghosted from the time that we found out she was pregnant all the way through until, basically my son was here. But my gender reveal came, and it was the time for us to like really be celebrating. And a lot of y'all know that narcissistic people, they mess up holidays, they mess up all types of like special events. And I feel like in my case, messing up the gender reveal was one of those things that was always going to stick with me. It was one of those things that it was like, okay, every time he sees a gender reveal online, or every time he sees, one of his family members goes through a gender reveal, that kind of thing, I feel like, it was one of those things that it was kind of like pre-planned, and it was like to hurt me to the point where it was going to hurt me every time in my life that I saw somebody else experiencing, like, having fun and enjoying and finding out what the gender of their baby they were having, that kind of thing. So what ended up happening was, like I said, I had been ghosted pretty much the whole pregnancy. But when the gender reveal came, one of her flying monkeys sent me and my family a flyer, basically. And the flyer was like, had the location, had the address of like where the gender reveal and all of that was supposed to be, all of that kind of thing. So me and my family are going down there under the intentions of, being a part of the gender reveal, being a part of the whole situation, and basically, just being there for my new child, and also just being a part of like her life, being a part of their family's life, like merging the two families, because we're about to bring a child in the world. So me and my family are under the assumption that everybody's on the same page. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even realize there was no beef between the families. I didn't even know that there was I didn't understand narcissism at the time. So I didn't understand that behind the scenes she had already been smearing me, like smear campaigning me to her family, and like talking about me bad, telling her family things that I like had done, or lies and stuff, like coming up with all these different lies and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going into it with like the purest of intentions, thinking that, okay, I have a baby on the way. We about to learn the gender of the child, this, that, and the third. So I'm like really excited about the whole thing. But what she ended up doing was getting one of her flying monkeys, which is her best friend. The saddest thing about the whole thing about the flying monkey is that I actually grew up with the flying monkey, like the main flying monkey as well. So I had known her for years, and even though I know her loyalty lied with the narcissist, I still thought, because we came up together, I knew her and I knew a little bit about her family, all of that kind of stuff. I thought that there was still some love that we shared. And plus I was always good to them people. So, what I'm saying? I never really, was disrespectful or stepped on nobody's toes, none of that kind of thing. I literally was like trying to do the right thing in that situation. So once I found out she got pregnant, I really tried to like lock into a relationship and lock into like getting to know her family, getting to know her friends, that kind of thing. And the whole time that I was trying to lock into the situation, they was like pushing me away from it. They was like, creating chaos, and, they was hiding a lot of the dirt and stuff that she was already doing, that kind of thing. So anyway, so she ended up basically they ended up sending me and my family a flyer, and the flyer had the location, the date, all of that kind of stuff. So we ended up getting to the location. We get there, and when we pull up, first of all, I don't see none of their cars at the location, but I'm like, it's in the middle of DC, parking real bad in DC. It is what it is. Like, so maybe, they parked around the corner, maybe they parked elsewhere, maybe they called an Uber here. I don't know how they, did their thing, because pretty much I was ghosted the whole pregnancy. So like I said, I wasn't like privy to know how they was getting there, none of that. I just got the flyer in the email the same way that my family got it. So my family all pulls up to the location, and we're standing there, and I'm noticing that it's just my family. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, the hell, it's like, so I walk into the establishment. If y'all familiar with DC, it's called Ivy City Smokehouse. They sent me a flyer saying that the location was gonna be at Ivy City Smokehouse. This is for like the gender reveal for my child, for my baby. So it's like, I'm not thinking somebody's gonna be, playing games with that or none of that kind of stuff. So I ended up, me and my family ended up pulling up down there. We ended up, walking inside, and we're standing around waiting, and they say it's supposed to be at like 11:30. I was kind of running late. So I ended up being there like right on time. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting there like right on time, right at 11:30, like on the nose. So I walk in and I don't see any of her family. I don't see any of the, nobody is around. Nobody is like it don't even look like there's a setup for a gender reveal. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So when I walk in, I asked the manager, I'm like, listen, I'm here for the gender reveal. He's kind of looking at me strange, like, what you mean? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like the gender reveal for AJ Webster, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving the dude all the information and he's looking at me like, man, I don't know what you talking about. So I pull my phone out and I actually show him the flyer. When I show him the flyer, the guy's looking at me like, man, oh, that's terrible. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like he literally said, man, that's fucked up. So when he said that's fucked up, now I realize, okay, obviously they playing games. Obviously they sent my family to the wrong location. So basically they ended up actually going, they had the party, and the only reason that I know that I'm gonna get to how I found out that they were actually having the gender reveal, but I thought that they were just playing games and just sending me and my family to the wrong location just because like they just wanted to like rub me the wrong way. I didn't know that they were going to actually do the event or whatever the case may be, but they actually had the event and planned it out, planned it, and had a location and everything for it set up, but they sent my family to the wrong location. So we're standing in one location, and now that I'm realizing that they're not here, I'm starting to call her. So I'm calling, I'm banging her phone out. You know what I'm saying? I'm ringing her, ringing her phone, ringing her phone, ringing her phone. She's not answering. She's sending me the voicemail, all of that kind of stuff. So now, not only myself, but a few friends of mine that was with me, they have the best friend's number, the flying monkey. They had her phone number. So now they banging the best friend's phone number out. They calling her all, calling her, trying to see what's going on. Cause all of us are at the location. Me and my family are like just standing here. We were trying to figure out like, well, maybe it was a mistake. Was it a mistake that they sent us to the wrong location and we ended up, maybe there's some type of mix up, and we're still trying to give these people like the benefit of the doubt. But even though it's like almost blatant and like blatantly disrespectful what they're doing, we're still trying to give these people like the benefit of the doubt and just say, hey, listen, I know what it looks like, but we're hoping that that's not what they actually did to us. So we're standing there and it's like 30 minutes in, about 45 minutes go past. I'm still calling them. I'm still calling her phone. She's still sending, like, at this point, at first it was like ringing. You know how, when somebody just ducking your phone call, the phone was just ringing, ringing, ringing. Then all of a sudden it's like she cut the whole phone off. So then once she cut the phone off, then we started, calling her best friend, the flying monkey. The flying monkey is actually the one who sent the email out to all my family. And actually, she's the one who actually sent it to me. Because again, I was ghosted pretty much the whole pregnancy. So I didn't have any direct contact with, my child's mother, like pretty much throughout the whole pregnancy, which was weird to me because I'm like, listen, I didn't lay down with you. I didn't, me and Shorty created the child and all of that. So why are any messages or any of that kind of stuff like being passed between me and you? I don't have no allegiance to you. Like we cool. I grew up with you and all of that kind of stuff. I know you from the old neighborhood and all that, but in all reality, me and you have no allegiance to each other. So why are you being the one, like the flying monkey? That's who I'm talking about. Like why is she the one passing messages back and forth to me? Why is she the one that is like, now all of a sudden that my narcissist got pregnant, now all of a sudden her and I can't have a regular conversation no more. Now all of a sudden I have to pass notes through her, or I have to pass messages through her, through the flying monkey to get back to her. And I was like, that's weird in itself, number one. Like, we're grown. We not talking about 20-year-olds. We're talking about 40-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about grown people here. So that was like kind of one of the main red flags that I first started to see, because I'm like, listen, we all grown. Like, I don't understand why you're in the mix, why you're in the middle of her and I having a child in the first place. Like, why am I answering to you? Why am I not necessarily just answering to you, but like me and my child's mother had no more dialogue. Once she got pregnant, it's literally like she put a representative in place in between me and her. As soon as she got pregnant, literally like when she got pregnant, she cut off contact with me, and then she put her flying monkey in place, and she had her flying monkey doing all of the talking to me, like, which was, that was weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're happy, we're getting along, we find out she's pregnant. I'm happy about the pregnancy. I'm thrown off about it because it wasn't planned, but I'm happy about it still. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like trying to be a good partner, trying to like be a good teammate about it, trying to be a good sport about the fact that it wasn't planned, but we still in the mix of this. So it's, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like put my best foot forward and just, you know, own up to the fact that, look, I got her pregnant, it is what it is. Look, I got to step into it and be a good father, be a good boyfriend, or whatever it is that we're about to be, you know, that kind of thing. So when the flying monkey ended up like ducking my phone calls, all of that kind of stuff, I remembered that my child's mother, she had called me FaceTime from her mom's phone one day. And I guess she forgot that she did it. So I still had this phone number, and I had the phone number, and I don't know what was prompting me to keep the number. Like, I almost deleted it several times, but it was something telling me, don't delete this number, don't delete this number. Like, so I kept looking at the number, and I was like, she had called me from it one time. She literally only called me from it one time. It was like something was going on with her phone, so she ended up calling me from her mom's phone. When I got the phone call from her mom's phone, I almost deleted it because I figured she would never call me from that number again, that kind of thing. So, but something just in my spirit kept telling me, don't delete this number, keep this number. And so when she started ghosting me, and when the day of the gender reveal, I was really like trying to get in contact with her, trying to get in contact with her best friend. They all ducking me. They, you know, basically are, you know, ducking my phone calls. They sending me the voicemail. They sending all my friends the voicemail. They are just disrespecting the whole play right now. And basically what, you know, so I ended up calling her mother but when I called her mother, like I said, she FaceTimed me from her mother's phone. So when she FaceTimed me from her mother's phone, I ended up, you know, like I ended up calling her back on that FaceTime. When I ended up calling her back on that FaceTime, her mom answered. When her mother answered, I don't think that her mother was expecting it to be me, you know, on the other end of the phone. So I think she literally just answered, like, I FaceTimed her, and she answered the phone like it was gonna be like a family member that was, you know, lost or something like that. So she, hey, how you doing? And I'm on the other end of the phone after her daughter and her daughter's best friend has basically sent me to the wrong location, and they're ducking my phone call right now. So now her mom has the phone, and I'm like, hey, you know, how you doing? You know, I'm Adrian, I'm AJ's father. You know, I'm showing her, I'm like literally showing her, because I had two phones at the time. So I'm showing her on my one phone, like, listen, this is the flyer that I got saying that the gender reveal was supposed to be at this location. Me and my family are here. We're standing here. We're standing in front of the manager right now. Where are y'all? Like, where are y'all at? Her mom instantly went into like the fake mode. So her mom went into like, oh, Adrian, oh my God, let me check. I don't know what's going on. She, you know, she playing the role. So she's like, listen, I don't know what's going on. Let me go talk to her. Let me go ask her what's going on. Basically, she's trying to like cover for her daughter. But so her mom rushes me off the phone. Let me go ask her. Let me go, you know, and but I'm looking, like I'm on FaceTime, so I'm looking in the background. I can see her mom has a really nice dress on, that kind of thing. And while her mom is like panicking, I guess, because she's trying to get the attention of her daughter is at the real gender reveal, and she's like walking through the crowd. And as she's walking through the crowd, I can see that they're obviously at some type of event which looks like a gender reveal, which looks like a real, like the real, location. So now I'm realizing, okay, y'all played me and my family to the left. Y'all y'all sent me and my family to the wrong location on purpose so that y'all can be there, and y'all, you can paint the picture as if I was like a deadbeat father, didn't want nothing to do with the child, didn't want to be involved, all of that kind of stuff. So that's the narrative that was painted, even though me and my family were actually there waiting for the gender reveal to go down. Like, we're at the location that they sent us to, but they sent us to the wrong location so that they could get in front of the narrative. Basically, the narrative is to paint me as not wanting to be an active father, not wanting to be around, not wanting to be involved. And so that's the lies that she told. Like, that's part of the smear campaign, is that, oh, well, he just got me pregnant and just left. So that's, she was really trying to paint the picture that I was just this like deadbeat guy that, and I think, one of the things that actually ended up hurting her in the long run was she did the same thing with the first child's father. So the fact that she did the same thing with the first child's father, it kind of is like, now it kind of seems to her family and some of the outsiders like she crying wolf. You know what I'm saying? One of those type of people that just always, they always try to find fault in the other person that they're dealing with, that kind of thing. So I ended up, but like I said, this video right here is basically about when I ended up apologizing to her for all of the disrespect that she was giving me. And I ended up, this is how it happens. I want to show y'all like how subtle it happens and how manipulative all of this is. This is like one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, because a lot of y'all might be going through this and a lot of y'all might be seeing this in your own situations, but y'all don't get what's happening in the moment, because even me in that moment, I didn't get what's happening. I had to like take myself out of it and then look at the situation from hindsight and then realize like, oh shit, like they got me, like it was what it was. So what ended up happening was I called her mother on FaceTime, and I'm seeing that they're actually at the real location. It says your child is a blessing. It's hard co-parenting with her. Absolutely, LJ, absolutely. But basically what ended up happening was her mom jumped on like the FaceTime, and I'm talking to her mom and I'm like, listen, I really want to be there. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know why she's acting the way that she is, because on my end of things, there was no beef. Behind the scenes, she had the smear campaign going. So I didn't realize, like, I didn't understand how narcissism worked and how they operate. So I didn't realize that, like, okay, her and I, face to face, we were good. Like it seemed like we were in a good relationship. We was cool. We was always getting along. Behind the scenes, she was already telling all of her family all of the stuff about me, and like basically, like I said, painting that picture as if I didn't want to be there. Painting the picture that, like I said, she comes from the Guyanese culture, so she was painting a picture that American blacks thought that they were better than Caribbean blacks, you know what I'm saying? So when she basically painted that picture, she already had her family members in place. And I remember, it's sad because I remember her actually saying like, this time I'm ready for my family. Like her and I were having a conversation. She was like basically said, this time I'm ready for my family. This time I'm ready. Like I got my, basically it sounded like she was trying to say, I have my story together this time, but I didn't understand what she was saying in that moment. But now I get it, because basically she had already been lying and, spreading the story. You say it's going on two years since the discard. My ex and I, hang on. Y'all comments popping up real fast and then disappearing. Let me see if I can get them to stay. All right, there we go. All right, I got y'all. So let me basically get back to the story. So anyway, I ended up, like I said, contacting her mother. Her mother rushes me off the phone. After her mother rushes me off the phone, I, waited. Like, I didn't call her mom back right away. I actually gave her mom some time to, basically go talk to her daughter, see whatever was going on, see if they were gonna like call me back and actually invite me and my family to the real location. So we're still actually sitting, because my family is now in this location. They kind of started getting restless and that kind of thing. They were already hungry, all that kind of stuff. So they started kind of ordering food at this location while I'm still trying to get in contact with her and her mother while they're at the real location. So I didn't call her mom right away. I called her mom. I gave her mom a nice little minute. You know what I'm saying? I gave her like 20 minutes and went past. Didn't contact her right away. 30 minutes go past. Didn't contact right away. But the last thing that I had heard from her mom was basically like, listen, oh, I'm going to talk to my daughter. I'm going to see what's going on. I'll call you back. I'll call you back. So she's like telling me that she's going to call me back. She's telling me like, oh yeah, yeah, let me talk to her real quick. Let me see what's going on. And that kind of thing. So after an hour had went past and I hadn't talked to her mom, and her daughter is ducking the phone calls, her best friend is ducking the phone calls. Now, of course, the only outlet that I have to like contact them, the only place that I know, because she's ducking the phone calls, her friend is ducking the phone calls, but her mom actually answered the phone. So because her mom actually answered the phone, I ended up texting her mom and basically saying in the text, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. In the text, I texted, man, that's so fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's so fucked up that y'all would send, basically, that y'all would send me and my family to the wrong location. I'm a father that's like wanting to be active in my child's life. I'm a father that's, wanting to be there, with, y'all during this time. Like, I really want to be a part of all of this. And on top of that, I don't even know what's going on between me and your daughter, or me. I don't know what's happening between us, because on my side of things, there was no beef. We like, her and I had never had an argument. Like, her and I had never had no type of, drama at all, to the point where like it was red flags that I probably even overlooked, because I was always one of those type of people that was real easy to like. I was real go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? I was real passive and get along. I was real easy to get along with. So her and I had never really even had opportunities to have an argument, because she pretty much could come and go as she pleased. I wasn't really tripping off the fact that like she was, how she was. All I was looking for was friendship and respect. You know what I'm saying? If she wanted to deal with other people, that kind of thing, it was always kind of that thing where just be honest about it. If you are telling me you want to be with me, if you're telling me that you want to lock in on a real relationship, then let's do that. But if you don't really want to do that, and if that's not where you see this going, then let's keep that gangster too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically where I was at with it. So she kept presenting like, oh, I really want to be with you. I really want to be with you. So so from my standpoint, her and I are basically working towards a relationship. She gets pregnant, and then boom, she splits on me. You know what I'm saying? When the split happened, it was like, now I can't talk to her directly. Now she doesn't want to come around me. Now, you know what I'm saying? I recently heard a video where it's like maybe their guilt or shame, something got triggered, and whatever it is that they did. But basically, that's how I feel in this situation. It wasn't like we were beefing. It wasn't like there was anything that led up to an argument. She just literally switched on me one day. Once the switch happened, she started putting her flying monkeys in place. She started lying and telling her family. So think about walking up on situations where you don't have a clue of what's going on, and you walk up, but everybody in the room thinks that you said this about them, you said that about them, you did this, you did that, and you think you're better than them, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm literally walking into situations blind, and I'm walking in there so blind that I'm like hugging people, like, hey y'all, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm dapping people up, like thinking we cool, and the whole time all of these people have like the whole room got a bad taste in their mouth about me because of lies that she went back and told. And so it was, I was really trying to just be who I normally am. And one of the things that I learned about all of this is, like, even fighting the smear campaign and all of that, is like, your character is going to shine through regardless. You know what I'm saying? So my character is actually like the reason why I stopped fighting back. My character, because everybody knows me. Everybody knows how I carry myself. Everybody saw, like even her family members and even like her flying monkeys and stuff like that. It wasn't but so far that they could actually push and take things because I've always been like stand up. I've always been, you know, like loving on them. You know what I'm saying? Even like I said, I didn't necessarily like her best friend. I've always felt certain types of bad energy from her, but I still showed her love. Like, so I would, when she would come around, I would always hug her. I was always solid with her. I would always dap her up. And, if like I have a nonprofit organization, when her son needed his community service hours and all of that kind of stuff, I actually let him and his whole basketball team, not just him, but him, his whole basketball team, and not only just her son, but her daughter and a couple of her other family members come. Basically the Flying Monkeys whole family, they got their community service hours, which is a requirement in Maryland. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like in Maryland, to graduate high school, you have to get these community service hours done. So I actually went out of my way and allowed these people to like be a part of events and stuff that I was throwing, and events that my nonprofit organization was hosting, because basically off of the strength of the love that I had for my child's mother, and not only her, but her best friend. So I went out of my way to like show these people love. So like I said, I ended up texting her mom like, yo, that's so fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up that y'all would do this to me, knowing that I've always been there for your daughter. I've always been like, me and your daughter, like we've been solid. Her best friend know that. Her best friend was there for a lot of it. She was there when, during a lot of interactions that her and I had. So it was like the fact that all of a sudden now, and the fact that what really kind of got to me was her and I had been dealing with each other for years. It wasn't like off and on, but her and I had been dealing with each other for almost, I would say, like 10, 11 years. So the fact that we had so much time and her best friend was there and saw that I was a good person to her all of that time, I just didn't think that all of them would turn on me the way that they did, but they still ended up, doing their thing, turning on me, switching up on me, that kind of thing. So, but basically, like I said, I sent her mother the text message, and then I got the silent treatment. So this is where like the manipulation comes in. And this is why I'm doing this video, because I want you guys to like recognize and see the things that I didn't see in the moment. So I sent a text message to her mom saying, this is fucked up, what y'all doing to me, that kind of thing. And basically at the end of the message, I'm like, listen, this is your daughter's last time hurting me. You know what I'm saying? This is your daughter's last time. This is her last opportunity that I'm going to give her to, even be that close to me, to hurt me like that again, basically. So, and it was sad because she was pregnant at the time. She's like pregnant with my son. So I'm having to have this conversation with her mom while she's pregnant with my son. And I sent her mom a text message, and instead of her mom, like her mom still didn't contact me back. Her mom didn't say, oh, one of the reasons why I text messaged her mom that, because I felt like, her mother could have texted me back at least and just said she wasn't, she didn't want to be a part of it. She could have texted me back and at least said, hey, listen, I don't want to be involved in this. Y'all grown, y'all gonna handle y'all business. It is what it is. But I feel like her mother put herself in it and like involved herself in it by not at least hit me back and let me know, listen, I know you just, like, I just called you. I just talked to you directly. Like, why don't you call me back and let me know what's going on? This is my child that we're talking about. Like, this isn't, something, we're talking about my child's gender reveal. And y'all are going to keep me from that, playing y'all little petty games and trying to keep up y'all little lies and, keep y'all face, keep the face of your family good or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I'm sitting over here suffering, not being able to be a part of basically my child's life. Like, even though he wasn't here yet, the beginning part of my child's life and all of the festivities and the celebrations and all of that kind of stuff that came along with that. So the fact that when I text message her mother that, I was pissed off when I did it, of course. So the fact that I was kind of pissed off, and the fact that, like I said, I'm an empath, I'm a true empath. So I wanted to, even though I didn't feel like I was wrong in the situation, her mother instantly gave me the silent treatment. So her mother never responded back, her, like, literally never responded back. So after her mother didn't respond back, probably a month or two went past, and I ended up responding back to that same message. Me trying to keep the peace, knowing that my son is coming, even though I actually still felt like they did me wrong, even though I still actually felt like these people really was shitting on me, you know what I'm saying? But me still trying to keep the peace, me still trying to be a people pleaser, I reached back out to her mom on that same text, like, listen, I know, how I might have came off, even though, I feel like I don't feel like I was wrong in anything that I said. But, if I disrespected you in any type of way, or if you felt disrespected by anything that I text you in any type of way, I'm gonna be the bigger person. I'm basically gonna apologize to you. So her mother still didn't reply to that. But when I sent her mom that's when her daughter started texting me back. She started, so basically she went from ghosting me to now she's contacting me. But now she's contacting me under the context of using what I just told her mother. So I just apologized to her mother saying, listen, if you felt like I disrespected you. Now, I didn't say fuck you to her mom. I didn't call her mom out her name, none of that kind of stuff. I literally just texted, what y'all are doing, basically, like what y'all did to me is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say fuck you. I just said, man, that's so fucked up that y'all would treat me like that, basically knowing that I want to be a part of his life. I want to be like, I'm involved. I'm here. Everybody talks about how terrible black fathers are, and nobody, and how black fathers aren't invested into their children's lives and all of that kind of stuff. But I see a lot of, women pushing black fathers out of their lives, and I'm one of them, you know what I'm saying, to the point where I really felt like, I was there from the start. Like, I was, even behind the scenes, people think like in her family, because she kept me away from a lot of stuff, I was there the entire time throughout everything. She was still contacting me, letting me know, oh, this is going on. Oh, that's going on. But she was letting me know that on my side of things, but she was still painting the picture to her family that I was nowhere to be involved, like I was nowhere to be found. So it was almost like she was keeping me in hiding. You know what I'm saying? So she was keeping me in isolation. So I was away from everybody. And the fact that I was not up on her family, they could never get the real story from me. They could never hear the fact that she had done the things that she had done to me, and that I had been away from the family, and I had been away from, all of the doctor's appointments. I had been away from all of that because she was basically keeping me away from that type of situation. But like I said, behind the scenes, I had been there the whole time. Behind the scenes, I was literally a part of everything. I knew every step of the way that was going on, but like I said, she painted the picture that I wasn't. So because she had that picture painted to her family and to her friends, and, oh, well, he just got me pregnant. He thinks he's better than us. He thinks he's this. He thinks his family is this. His family thinks they're better than us. So her family and her flying monkey started moving under the guise of, oh, his family thinks that they are better than us, and my family's like the coolest people alive. Like, most people are very attracted to my family, and very, because I come from, like, my mom is like extremely loving. Hey, y'all, do me a favor. I'm gonna do a separate video. Today's my mother's birthday too, y'all. So if y'all can, man, just wish her a happy birthday in the chat. I absolutely appreciate y'all for, just letting her. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for my mother encouraging me to always like speak, because she felt like I was very insightful as a young child, and she felt like I was going to talk to a lot of people for whatever reason. And I always believed that, but I just didn't know what capacity, and I ended up like this ended up being the capacity that I ended up doing it in. So like I said, just show her some love in the chat, man. Wish her a happy birthday if y'all can. And like I said, I'm gonna do a separate video because I actually want to give her some credit and give her some honor. So after I do this video, I'm probably gonna try to put out a happy birthday video. It might not come out until tomorrow morning, but you know, hopefully I can get it out. But yeah, but basically, so I ended up apologizing to her mom. That me apologizing to her mom is what like gave her the energy and the fuel to come back and like use my apology to her mother as like manipulation. So what she ended up doing was she came back in the situation and she was like, you know, she was like, yeah, I shouldn't even talk to you after you disrespected my mom. And I'm looking at her like, disrespected your mom? So she called, this is what's crazy. She called me because she had been ghosting me for the whole like pregnancy. She called me and asked me to meet her at a restaurant. I go and meet her at the restaurant. And when I go and meet her at the restaurant, she basically tried to use my apology, because me basically trying to keep the peace. I didn't feel like I was wrong in anything. Basically, I meant what I said as far as it being fucked up that they were treating me like that, and it being fucked up that, you know, her mom never got a chance to know me, never took the opportunity to get to know me. She played really nice when I came around, just casually, just like at parties and things like that. But then when, you know, when things got a little more serious, her mom ended up like basically switching on me and just like, oh yeah, I don't, you know, I don't mess with you like that, you know, that kind of thing. So she came back around and used the fact that I apologized to her mother as a way kind of back into the door, and kind of basically to flip the responsibility of what she had done back on me. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, listen, I would have never said anything to your mother. I would have never text messaged your mother. I would have never said nothing out the way to your mother at all had you not done what you did, had you not been telling the lies, had you not been, you know, trying to keep, like, basically play keep away from my family, you know what I'm saying, and keep my family away from, you know, basically enjoying things that's coming along with this child that we have on the way, that kind of thing. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint of like, listen, I really was just defending myself. I stood up for myself, you know, and yeah, I apologize to your mother because, you know what, maybe she wasn't the target, like the direct target of my anger or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, your mother also enabled you doing what you did. Like, and that's just how I feel. Like, you know, a lot of people might not feel like her mother was an enabler in that situation or whatever, but I feel like, you know, her mother being a grown woman and being like an adult, even though she's an adult, but her mom also being an adult and an authority figure, like I guess over her life, could have easily said, hey, listen, don't do that. You know, this dude is trying to be here. He wants to be a part of his child's life. He wants to do this. He wants to do that. Like, don't, you know, keep him away from, like, don't keep this from him, that kind of thing. Her best friend could have spoke up on my behalf. Like, listen, you know, he seems to be active. He seems like he always, you know, held you down, that kind of thing. And now all of a sudden, you know, you playing games, you go switch up on him. Instead, what they did was saw what she was doing. They saw what she was doing wrong, saw that she was, you know, and then they basically enabled it. And they basically was like, well, you know, you shouldn't have did this or you shouldn't have did that. And I'm like, what did I do? Oh, you know, like, I'm like, I sent her mom a text message because y'all started playing games. But like I said, they take whatever information that you give them. And that's why I always try to do these videos, because I want you guys to understand, when you start to offer information, when you start to apologize for stuff that you didn't even do, that kind of thing, it gives them ammo. So it's like they're getting ammunition off the fact that like, oh, damn, I didn't even think about like a lot of the stuff that, you know, if I would have just been quiet and just never said nothing, then, you know, she would have just had to eat that whole thing. But I basically gave her a way out, and I gave her mother a way out by apologizing and saying, "Hey, I'm sorry. You know, my bad. I shouldn't have came off like that. You know, and trying to be, you know, people pleasing and apologetic to the whole situation. I'm just like, listen, I don't, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to bring my son into this world and there's beef between us and that kind of thing. So I was willing to sacrifice myself. I was willing to like, you know, basically put my own standards and my own principles to the side to, you know, keep the peace." And that ended up, even me doing that came back to bite me in the ass later because of the fact that, you know, like I said, she tried to use it and try to like twist it and try to make it seem like, oh, well, you know what, you know, um, if you had never disrespected my mom and if you had never done this and if you had never done that, you never talked to my mom this type of way, then, you know, none of this would have ever happened. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking from the other side of like, I would have never talked to your mom if y'all had never disrespected me. So it's like they're always looking for a way to like flip the situation, flip everything around on you. And that's basically what I did. And I ended up giving her ammunition by apologizing. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing in that moment. So like I said, I just wanted to drop this and come, you know, I don't get a chance to like go live and chop it up with y'all that often, but I just wanted to, you know, drop that on y'all real quick and just, you know, tap in, see what y'all thought about that, man. Let me get into some of y'all comments. I know I'm a little ways back. Say, what's up, bro? Hello, loves. What's up, Z? I ain't seen you in a minute, Z. What's going on? LJ say, my ex had me looking crazy on social media. He would start arguments and then record. Yeah, so it's like reactive abuse. Yeah, I absolutely get it. Happy birthday. It's my birthday today. Oh, for real? Hey, LJ, happy birthday. I know you good peoples, you know what I'm saying? You share the same birthday as my mother. That's what's up. Let me go back to the top a little bit. Like I said, my man Yusuf, man, a good friend, always been a solid dude, and he do a lot of good in the community, man. He living out in New Orleans now, but that's my man. Good dude. Illuminati manuscript said 15 years with my knock, 2 years, knock free. She's still playing games. Stalking after 2 years. Hey, listen, I was going to do a video about stalking too, because I feel like when you're like, if you are in an actual co-parenting situation, I was having a conversation with somebody recently, and I don't think that, like, if you're in a co-parenting, like, if you were able to get away from your knock, if you were able to like go no contact, get away scot-free, all of that kind of stuff, I feel like that's the best position to be in. Because I feel like if you share anything with the narcissist, if you share children, if you share, it's always, you're always going to be stalked. You're always going to go through that feeling of, you know, well, this person is always going to be watching your social media. This person is always like, I think about, I prepare myself now for stuff like my son playing little league games and things like that. I prepare myself for pulling up to his little league games and her trying to flaunt the new supplies in my face and that kind of thing. I'm not even sure if she's with the new supply that she left me for, that kind of thing. But, you know, I remember it was a party that she invited me to, and there was this dude at the party, and this dude was like real, he was real attentive to me. He was like real locked in on me, like, hey, what's up, big dog? Like, yeah. But his energy, like his vibe was so, I could tell he was fishing for information. He was trying to figure me out. And the only thing that I could gather from that situation is either they used to talk or he liked her, that kind of thing. But now that I'm getting to know a little bit more about her and how she been moving out here, Now I can kind of put two and two together. That's something, that's someone that she dealt with, and it almost seems like she invited me to this party to rub him the wrong way. So when I think about like my future, and I think about pulling up to like little league games and stuff like that with my son, now I'm thinking about, okay, I know for a fact that she's gonna like try to flaunt the new supply in front of me, whoever her supply is. She's gonna be having him pulling up to games and all of that kind of stuff, just trying to, rub me the wrong way, the same way that she used me. I didn't notice it at the time. I picked up on a vibe that obviously either this dude likes her or they had something going on, but I guess it was just one of those situations where I ain't had no proof of it, so I couldn't, just like lash out and just say. Plus, I ain't even that type of dude anyway. I would never, if a guy had an opportunity, like if I was talking to a woman and a guy had an opportunity to, make a play at her and you bit, it's like I'm not gonna look at the guy in that situation as being wrong. Like, I'm gonna look at the fact that you and I were, I'm in a relationship with you, and you and I should have that loyalty amongst each other. So the fact that the guy seemed like he was real interested in trying to figure me out and all of that kind of stuff, it kind of just like raised a red flag, kind of alerted me to the fact that there was something going on. But the fact of the matter is, I just kind of overlooked it and was just like, yeah, all right, whatever, and kind of just kept it moving. But it's just something that I noticed that like she used that tactic already, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that she used that tactic already, now I'm kind of like looking for that tactic coming in my future, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to that stalking, man, I don't think it's never gonna stop, especially if you tied into them. So, you know, yeah, happy birthday, LJ. Absolutely. LJ said that's what my ex used to do. Use his ex against me. Absolutely. Hey, Richard, already. You know what I'm saying? Real, recognize real. Hey, where y'all from, man? I don't ever get a chance to like tap in and actually find out where y'all from, what side of the world y'all from. I've been doing one-on-ones a lot lately, and in the one-on-ones, I've been talking to people like all across the world. So it's been amazing. Like one of my girls, one of my favorite homegirls, T. Shout out to you, man. T, you on here? I ain't even sure if you on here, but man, T in Ukraine right now. They, in wartime, so we have to like our lives be getting chopped up because they have like scheduled blackouts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's wild, man. But just, man, I love talking to all of y'all from all across the world, man. I'm a dude from DC, Washington, DC. I live in PG County now, which is like a suburb of DC. But yeah, Unicorn says she from Philly. The California. LJ, where you at in California? Ash say sorry you went through that. Yeah, it was rough. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm going to do a video like from the beginning. I don't want to keep telling y'all like the same stories over and over and over. But like as I get revelations that come to me, sometimes I'm like thinking in hindsight. So sometimes I might say the same stories over and over and over, but just give you a different thought or a different perspective, because I'm also still like in the middle of my healing journey. So I am like still getting new revelations almost every day of what happened in my situation, how I can better myself, how, me taking my own responsibility on things and trying to, like take my own accountability and so that I can fully heal. I don't want to like partially heal and still be blaming things on other people and all of that kind of stuff. So the whole time, like one of the things that I wanted to let y'all know is that I stepped into my responsibility on this. If I didn't take my own accountability, I would be one of those fathers where I felt like, oh my God, she trapped me. I'm not gonna be there for the baby. She's been evil to me. Her mom's been. I would have made a whole lot of excuses as to why I couldn't be there for my son, and I was never gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stepped into all of that. I stepped into the disrespect. I stepped into the fact that, you know, his mother was all over the place. And I, you know, it's embarrassing. Like, people don't even understand like how embarrassing it is to know that your child's mother is out here shaking and grooving with the whole city. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's embarrassing to know that you still have, like, I still have to raise my child under that. My son, not only my son, but my son's older brother has to move around knowing that his mom has moved a certain type of way in his life and has created a reputation for herself in not such a good light, that kind of thing. So it's, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, people kind of take it for what it is, but they don't understand like how deep this shit run. I don't like to get up here and talk about a lot of the stuff that has gone on between me and her, and you know, but I feel like it's gonna help somebody, and not only that, I feel like part of me, like when I first started the channel, I needed to protect myself. I needed to get my story documented, that kind of thing, and I had no outlets, no way of documenting anything until I jumped on YouTube, you know. So I'm gonna, hold on, let me get back to y'all comments real quick. Richard Dallas, Texas. I got love for the DMV. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, you said big home crew from Virginia, Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia, like 15 minutes from me. So I got a lot of folks out Virginia, Richard. Enlightened Goddess, Houston. I love Houston, man. I wanted to move to Houston years ago. I got some friends that live there. I came out Houston. You know, I grew up on a whole rap a lot. You know, I'm like I said, I'm an '80s baby, so I grew up on Scarface, UGK, all that kind of stuff. And for years, I wanted, like, Houston was one of those cities that if I ever left the DMV, that was one of the cities that I always kept like in high regard. I went to Houston and I visited for a while. I stayed for a couple weeks one time, and then I went like for a weekend or two another time. And the heat, the heat was killing me out there. Like, it was so hot, I couldn't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like that kind of swayed me, because it was a part of the year that I wasn't used to it being hot. I can't even remember exactly what month it was when I went, but it was so hot. It was like almost 110 degrees out there, almost melted as soon as I stepped off the plane and got, you know, so I was, yeah, but I love Houston though, man. Y'all got, you know, y'all got some of the best, like, I went out there and got a tattoo one day. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. That was dope because, you know, like, we left the club, we left a regular club, and then went to the tattoo shop, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. And DC got so hectic that everything shut down in the city at like midnight. You know what I'm saying? Now it's starting to, you know, kind of open back up after COVID and that kind of thing. So you got some clubs in DC that stay open till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But 3 o'clock in the morning, like 3 o'clock, pretty much everything's shutting down. You know, maybe 4 o'clock at like the latest spots is like 4. So the fact that I was able to leave the club, I was able to leave one club, and then it was like a tattoo shop across the street, and it was still lit. It was like the whole parking lot was full. Like, it was a lot of people out there, man. Man, Houston lit, man. I love Houston. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been to Atlanta yet. You know, a lot of people say Atlanta lit like that too. I ain't been to Atlanta yet. You said 79 there now. Dallas is hotter in the summer. Yeah, so I've never been to Dallas. I've only been to Houston, and right outside of Houston, like Pearland. I got family in Pearland. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Pearland, but yeah, I got family in Pearland, Texas, and I got family in, you know, in Houston, in like the suburbs of Houston, that area. I've never been to Fort Worth. I hear it's real live out there too. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hear a lot about the streets in Fort Worth. You know what I'm saying? I hear a lot about the streets in Dallas too. You know what I'm saying? Mo 3, shout out to Mo 3. You know what I'm saying? I was actually a big fan of Mo 3, so shout out to him, man. Man, I appreciate y'all joining the live. I ain't gonna be here too much longer. I just wanted to tap in with y'all and just like like I said, I don't normally go live because I'm still getting used to this. Y'all can tell I'm still fumbling over my words. I'm still real nervous, all that kind of thing. So, I'm trying to get better at going live. I'm trying to get used to the camera. Even pre-records, like I think one day I'm gonna do some bloopers for y'all to see, so y'all can see how many times I like restart my videos, how many times, like, so a lot of y'all, don't understand how difficult it is to create this content and to like keep coming up with different concepts, different things to talk about, and then just having the confidence. Like some days your confidence is up and you like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot this video, this, that, and the third. And then other days you like kind of beating yourself up, like, should I shoot this video? I don't know. Some days you kind of are confident in what you're saying. Other days it's like, so I still struggle with that, man. So I'm just being here and just being transparent as I can be with y'all. But yeah, hang on 1 second. Let me read these comments real quick. Your videos have been a huge help to me moving on from the knock. I really appreciate you. Hold on. Yeah, man. I appreciate, like I said, I don't know. It's hard for me to gauge how much I'm reaching people and all of that kind of stuff if you guys don't leave comments in the comment section, or if you like don't hit me on the email. Like I said, man, like it's a lot of ways. I'm trying to get like y'all involved into everything because I feel like it's a lot of opportunity for us to piggyback off of each other and help each other. I mean, and I'm not just saying, like, I feel like this is a journey, you know what I'm saying? So along this journey, it's gonna be a lot of different things. Y'all gonna be having kids and I'm gonna be having kids, or, getting married or that kind of thing. And now I feel like we like kind of developing a family. We developing like a real support system. It's other people that have gone through what we have gone through. So that's why I'm like, man, join the Facebook, talk to each other. Like I don't have to always just drop videos for y'all to, chat it up and stay in contact with each other. I feel like, I'm developing a platform so we can all kind of mix and mingle with each other. Like I said, when good things happen, I don't want this to just be one of those sites where we're coming and just talking about, oh, the narcissist did this, and the narcissist, like, I'm in a point of my life where I'm getting past the things that were done to me, and I'm getting back to like my normal everyday life. I'm getting back to like doing me again. I'm getting back, like, I'm not gonna say that, like, basically she took the rug and yanked that like, yeah, she yanked it from under me, and I like lost my foot and I lost my balance in life. In me losing that balance, I had to, you know, basically start over. I didn't have to start all the way over. I still had certain things in my life that were like, I already had my career, I already, my job and that kind of thing. But, I already had my home, that kind of thing. But it was still like, basically starting all over. So, like, and that was tough. That was real tough for me to do. But eventually I want this channel to get to the point where, we are, you can see the healing on me. Y'all can get to the point where y'all, I can be an inspiration to you guys. And you can see that, like, listen, I remember when he first started this channel, he was shy. He was, he didn't want to get in front of the camera. He was sweating. Look, he was sweating when he when he was going live. And, he still had all these different insecurities and all of that kind of stuff. But I feel like another reason why, like, I go live and not only just try to go live, but when I do my videos, I don't do a lot of editing, is because I feel like it's a muscle. I feel like it's something that we strengthen as time goes on. So I feel like when I jump on, it's almost like freestyling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you hear Jay-Z and Lil Wayne and all of them say, like, I go in, I do one take, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the more and more you develop your skill set to just jump in front of the camera and your confidence just builds, I feel like I'll one day be able to just jump in front of the camera and just float, and it'll be like, just muscle memory, just boom, and get on, just feel real comfortable talking, just, vibing. And honestly, I feel like this is not only going to help me here, this is going to help me in a lot of other areas of my life that I have, not necessarily stretched myself in, because there was always this fear of putting myself out there in certain types of ways, that kind of thing. So, I just wanted to take the opportunity to like stretch myself. So, like I said, I just go live from time to time when I feel like it, every once in a while. And Light and God say you're doing a great job. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, love. What's up, fam? Keep up the A. Real Jules ENT, man. Love you. You know what I'm saying? Already. Absolutely. T, you already know what it is. Yes, many blessings. All of our stories will not go silent. And yeah, and I think that's I think it's important for us to. That's why I don't just create this content and say, hey, I'm creating content, and I'm just nah. Like, I want to encourage as many of you guys that want to speak out about this, man. Like, start the TikTok. Start. I don't understand TikTok. Like, I'm I'm still getting used to this. So, like, this whole social media thing, like being in front of the camera, that kind of thing. So TikTok, the videos are real short, and I'm still trying to like find my niche with TikTok. But I see the value in creating a TikTok, because I feel like TikTok is the new wave of like getting a lot of views and getting a lot of attention, getting a lot of quick, quick people coming to your channel and supporting, that kind of thing. But, YouTube has been tried and true for me since I've started. And so right now, this is the only platform that I'm on. Like, I have a TikTok, don't get me wrong, but I don't post there really, that often. And I feel like I wanted to establish YouTube first. And then once I establish YouTube and get really comfortable just being in front of the camera, I feel like I'll kind of spread in other places. But yeah, like, I want to take this thing as far as we can. I want to start, like, if y'all are willing, especially y'all that are in the DMV, if y'all want to do a meet and greet or something like that. I see a lot of other channels doing meet and greets and stuff like that. I would love to meet y'all, man. I would love to just come and spend some time, chop it up, and then even get to the point where we can go city to city and just, meet. It don't necessarily have to always be, a seminar and y'all sitting there. Like, let's just go have some fun. Let's just like literally go have some fun, meet some new people, network. Let me know what type of businesses y'all got going on. Let me know what's like how I can help you succeed with the channel and other stuff that I got going on. A lot of y'all don't know. Like I said, I have a nonprofit organization that I don't really promote that much here, but I would like to, start getting you guys involved in that kind of stuff. I also make clothing. I have a clothing line myself, and then I also make clothing for other lines and other designers and that kind of thing. So I'm tapped in, and I'm here to help y'all. Like, it's not just about, like I said, narcissistic abuse. Eventually, hopefully, I'll get to the point where of course, I want to tap in with y'all and keep things rolling with y'all, but at the same time, eventually, like, my life is moving in different directions, and I don't foresee me just being here forever, just talking about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. But like I said, the good thing about my channel is I feel like because I'm still living through it, because I still have to deal with this person, and because I still have, it's like you're dealing with things in real time. You're like getting updates as my life goes on and as things unfold and progress in my life. So I think that I'll be here for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not rushing away or none of that kind of stuff. And if I do, I'll probably create another channel and invite you guys to come over, and hopefully you guys will, come over and enjoy some different types of content with me as well. Like, it's a lot of stuff that I am into outside of this that, I feel like I can also help you guys with, or I have a lot of insight with outside of this as well. But this is like what got me out the gate. This is what started me. I always wanted to start a YouTube channel, but I didn't know what my content was going to be. And then when I experienced the relationship and once I came out of the discard, I I honestly did not want to start a channel about this. I didn't want to talk about this type of stuff at all. I didn't want to, like, this wasn't even, on my radar. But I felt like I needed to do this. And honestly, like I said, I felt like I was stuck. When I came out of my discard, I was stuck with, I had my full-time job, then I had a brand new baby. I had a brand new baby that the child's mother was not helping me with. Like, she would, like, literally drop him off. He's, a month old, 2 months old, that kind of thing. He's 2 months old, and she's dropping him off and just leaving. And I'm having to, like, figure things out as a new dad. I'm Googling, like, how do you handle a fever, and how do you, that kind of thing. I'm, like, literally, like, trying to piece together being a dad. And it's like she did all of that in a moment of, like, when I was in an upward, like, I was climbing in life. I was, things were progressing in my businesses. Things were progressing in the nonprofit organization. Things were progressing even in my own, like, in my personal, like, my full-time job, that kind of thing. Things were, like, rolling in my life. And then all of a sudden this person came in. And that's why I feel like it's definitely a attack, because it seems like she had a lot of opportunities to attack me, and the attack really didn't start coming until I started to progress in life and started to kind of pull away from her and then from, just that situation. So when I started, like, really following God and started following, like, the passions and the things that God had put on my heart, and I started, like, doing a lot in the community, doing things for the homeless, feeding the homeless, that kind of stuff. It's like, that's when I was attacked. That's when, I had been dealing with this person for years, and we had been friends, no drama, no issues. Like, she probably had been doing her thing behind the scenes. I just wasn't checking into it because I was so busy doing other things with my real life. But the blatant disrespect did not come until after until basically, like, the blatant disrespect didn't come until I started progressing in life, when I started pulling away from her, when I was still in a low place of, in a low place don't always necessarily mean, it's just like there was no progression in life. I was stable, everything was cool, but there was no progression in my life. There was not me moving up, moving forward. There was me just being stagnant and, like, just going with the flow of life. And basically that's how she ended up infiltrating my life. I never checked behind her when she would, like, just she would pop in my life, stay for a while, pop out of my life, be gone for a year and a half, pop back in my life. And I would never ask questions. I would never ask, like, where the hell you been? You know what I'm saying? What you been doing? Like, that kind of thing. And the fact that whenever you allow somebody to pop in, pop out, they're going to lose respect for you every time. You know what I'm saying? And when every time they come back, they're going to feel like they can get away with more and more and more. I didn't realize that. I thought that I was just being a real one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought, like, okay, I know this person got some issues and some things going on. I've been there in my life and I've overcome those things in my life. So let me get them some space and let me get them some opportunity to do their thing and become who they're going to become. And hopefully they'll be good for me. And that's honestly how I looked at the situation with her. But ended up, biting me in the ass because I gave her too many opportunities to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I gave her too many, I gave her too many chances to come back and hurt me later. You know what I'm saying? So hold up, y'all. I know I be missing the comments. Many blessings. Story when I go silent. Yeah. The outer space. Outer space hoodies. I gotta see. I gotta go back and look at what you're talking about. But yeah, man. Listen, I got plenty of stuff, man. Listen, I got stuff right here. Listen, when I say, like, it's a jacket. It's a jacket I made. You know what I'm saying? And actually, like I said, I make this, man. You know what I'm saying? So anything that y'all get from me, I'm gonna come out with some channel tees and all of that kind of stuff real soon. I actually got, matter of fact, You know, y'all see it on the description, but it's right here. This is one of the ones for the channel. Matter of fact, if anybody fit a medium, you know what I'm saying, just show me some love and I'll send it to you if y'all want it. This a medium right here. This was the promotional tee, and I'm gonna come out with some new ones, probably some different colors and all of that kind of stuff. But and I was trying to get it cleared with YouTube, you know, because it has the YouTube buttons, and it got the YouTube buttons and it got the subscribe button on there. So I was just trying to make sure that I could actually use it without any, you know, without any issues. So that's why I didn't. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like actually release it yet. But yeah, I got plenty of stuff, man. I got I got all types of stuff. Here's a black and white one. I got sweatsuits, I got hoodies, I got you know, everything, dresses, ladies, dresses for the ladies, all of that kind of stuff. We you know, we were moving really good before COVID hit, and then like I said before, so the DMV is very aware of like my brand, and you know, I had a lot of people like from a lot of different areas in the DMV, from Baltimore to DC to Prince George's County to Virginia. All of those places are familiar with the brand, and all of them have kind of been wearing it, you know, that kind of thing. They've been like, it started with me. I was getting robbed, you know what I'm saying? Like basically, I was going to get T-shirts made from a guy that, you know, I'm pretty good friends with it, but he was killing me as far as making the shirts. So I was getting like 10 shirts done, and I was almost giving him like $400 and something, $450 almost for 10 shirts just to get like different shirts made for different events. And I had done that so many times where it got to the point where I was like, man, listen, I'm killing myself trying to, you know, keep up with, you know, just making 10 shirts here, 10 shirts there, that kind of thing. But while he was making them, I actually got an opportunity to watch him. You know, I was in his warehouse, and I was actually able to get a chance to watch him make all of the, you know, make all of the different stuff. And once I watched him for so long, he kind of just started like showing me the ropes a little bit. And then I felt like it was going to be a better business move if I actually learned how to do it myself. And so I actually started trying it myself, got it, and then once I got the hang of it, I just released it to the public and just kept it moving from there. So I have actually been making clothing for about 6 years now, and I not only have my brand, I have a couple other different brands and friends that I help out with. Another friend of mine wrote a book, and I'm helping him with the clothing that comes along with his book. And then I have like a few other brands in the DMV that I'm helping them, you know, with some of their apparel and some of their hoodies and T-shirts and stuff like that. But if you guys, you know, I also, you know, we ship and everything. So if you are interested, shoot me an email. You got a logo that you want to, you know, if you got a business, you got a logo, you got some stuff you want to try out, man, just hit me. I'm here to help. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I play fair. I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to like kill nobody. I'm not here to try to like, you know, you know, like crush y'all pockets or nothing, man. I just want to, you know, I love doing good work. You know what I'm saying? I love when somebody is happy at the end of it, like when I do their shirts and everything, and they see them and they like, oh man, I love, you know, I love the feeling of feeling like I did a good job, you know, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I got plenty of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely be doing some more lives and letting y'all know, like, you know, I got this actually reflective green. I don't know if y'all can really see it, but it reflect like, you know what I'm saying, under the light. Can't see it, you know what I'm saying, because of the ring light, but yeah, it's reflective green. I got, like I said, I got plenty of stuff, man. So anytime, man, anytime y'all ready, like I said, I got hoodies, sweatshirts, sweatsuits, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It says, "What's your birth sign?" I'm an Aries. I'm an Aries. My birthday's coming up April 7th. Said the green one is fire. Yeah, yeah. All of them, like, to be honest, you know, these these did pretty well. But when COVID hit, so I had different locations that we were set up at. And when COVID hit, we kind of lost all of our locations, and I ended up having to pull everything from out of the stores that we were in and started kind of doing everything back online. So I ended up with a lot of inventory back at my house. So like, yeah, by all means, if y'all want something, let me know. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to me, hit me on the chat. Hey, I got different sizes. I will cut you a great deal on all of the stuff because I need to get rid of it anyway. And like I said, I have plenty of stuff coming up. My plan was to include the nonprofit, and because the name of the nonprofit is Relentless Society, and I feel like the name is very fitting for the channel. We're talking about survivors. We're talking about people that have gone through a lot of stuff. We're talking about people that have overcame a lot in life. And one of the things that I have gone through in my life is, I've always been, even since a child, I've always been the type of person that adversities came in my life, I handled it, and I just kept it moving, and I handled it, and I kept it moving, and I was looking for a fitting word that fit my lifestyle, fit my personality, and one of the things that I always felt like was listen, I've been through so many things, and I just take it on the chin and keep on rolling. So I ended up calling it Relentless because I just never gave up. I was real scrappy. I was always listen, I'm not gonna let life defeat me. I'm not gonna let bullies defeat me. I'm not gonna let narcissism defeat me. I'm not gonna let addiction defeat me, all of those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So I had been through a lifestyle of being tested in that way, being tested in a way of having different things happen in my life to where I had to step up, have faith in God, be, a stand-up guy. I had to face different betrayals, different adversities, people turning their back on me, people switching up on me, people trying to backdoor me in certain types of ways, people that I, loved and gave my heart, fully to, that just switched up on me, that kind of thing. So I was just, trying to come up with a concept of something that fit my personality, but will also be kind of cool and, in society. And then something that people could remember the name. And then I came up with Relentless, the first word Relentless, but then society, just because I feel it's not just me, it's all of us. We are all survivors. We are all warriors. We are all, overcomers. And because, I felt like it was a way of making it inclusive, you know what I'm saying? So I feel Relentless is being a tribe of people that just don't give up, a tribe of people that just, whenever adversity hits, we face it, we step into it, and we just gonna do the best that we can to keep surviving and keep moving, keep living it, living the best life that we can, even though things don't always pan out, the way that we want them to. And my focus area, a lot of you guys know from the channel, has been in drug addiction and homelessness, and a lot of that came from my situation with my dad, because I grew up with a parent who suffered from addiction. So the fact that I grew up with a parent who suffered from addiction, I felt like I lost my voice as a child. I felt that's, again, one of the reasons why I'm doing this channel, is because it's kind of hard to explain, but going through the things that I went through as a child, I felt like I had to silence myself. I had to be quiet about things that I shouldn't have been quiet about. I had to silence myself because it was things going on in my life where everybody wanted to keep stuff on the hush. It was things going on in my life where it was like, oh, that was taboo. You don't talk about that. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk about this, or, you know, and that kind of thing. So because I went through my life like that, I ended up becoming a very silent but observant person. I would sit in rooms, I would soak up all the information, which made me very aware of things like that was going on, and that's a good skill to have. But it's also, I got to the point where I wouldn't speak up at all. I would like allow people to do certain things, and I would just accept it, that kind of thing, because I felt like my voice had been stripped from me as a child because everybody's telling me, oh, just be quiet, just sit down, just go do this, just go do that. I'm like, no, you can't, no, don't talk about this. No, don't bring that up. Or sometimes it's not even the fact that like they're actually telling you, no, don't do this, no, don't do that. Sometimes it's the fact of like, that that implication of, hey, be quiet, don't say, don't do this, don't do that, um, be quiet because you don't want to embarrass your family, or you don't want, people feeling this way about your family, that kind of thing. So I went through like a lifetime of that, and I lost my voice. I got scared to talk. Like I got afraid of, doing this. I got afraid to get in front of the camera. I got afraid. Like I said, some of y'all have seen some of my older videos, but when I was a kid, I used to be like the master of ceremonies at my honor roll assemblies and things. Like I was a very intelligent kid, and because I was like super intelligent, they used to always make me host. They used to make me host the honor roll assemblies like that, and I had no problem. I would grab the camera, I would be entertaining and all of that kind of stuff. But then as life started to hit, and not only that, I mean, of course, you grow up with the insecurities of like growing up in the hood. You got to be cool, you got to be tough, you got to be a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I had all of that, but it was like, but in developing all of that, I lost my voice. I lost the ability to, speak up for myself. And I would stand on my business, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, it would take me so much, like, boundaries that I should have like set and didn't let nobody cross. I would like accept things and accept things and accept things and accept things and then blow up. And then by the time that I blow up, now I'm looking like the bad guy because of my reaction. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what we was talking about earlier, like reactive abuse. People will like poke and poke and poke at you until you react, and then once you react, they'll use your reaction against you. Like, oh yeah, oh my God, see what he did? Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? So I've had a lot of situations like that happen in my life because I didn't check it from the gate. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like, and my sister is a lot different. My sister always tells me like, man, my sister is the opposite way. My sister checked everything from the gate. She checked stuff where it shouldn't even be checked. You know what I'm saying? Like she sometimes, but she always tells me like, you too nice. You know what I'm saying? You too kind to people. You too nice. And I'm really not, that nice to the point where like I'm just a pushover and you could just do anything to me. It just take me a long time to get there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you'll blatantly disrespect me and I'll wave it off. And then you'll blatantly disrespect me again and I'll wave it off. And you'll blatantly disrespect me again, I'll wave it off. And then I'll just build up, and then I'll just get tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And then my reaction is like, boom, you know what I'm saying? But, and so I felt like I was always kind of like worried about my temper and all of that kind of stuff. Like I felt like one of the things that's in your life, you're going to be tested because you're going to be tested in the areas that you're weakest in. And one of my weaknesses was always like my anger and being, because I held everything in. I was so quiet, and people used to treat me all types of ways, and I would never have an outlet for it. I would take all of this energy and all of their projections in, but I would never have like a release for it. My only release for it was like sports and stuff like that. So I put it into sports, I put it into this, I put it into that. But when I didn't have sports no more, when I didn't have those things to like put those releases into, then it was kind of like, now I'm lashing back out at the people that's giving it to me. And now all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard being a black sheep, when you start to get blamed for everything other people are doing to you but they're blaming you because of your reaction. You know what I'm saying? And really, you're the most peaceful, loving person. You just don't want to be disrespected. You don't want people to like walking all over top of that. And that's me in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? I'm the most kind, loving, giving, you know what I'm saying, person that I know. But at the end of the day, I just don't want people feeling like they can take advantage of that and try to run over top of it, that kind of thing. So when I stand up for myself, it's almost like, okay, oh he has a temper problem, oh he has an attitude problem, oh he has this, or and I'm like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm literally just reacting to what you just did to me. I'm reacting, that kind of thing. So, it's just tough out here. Hold on, let me get back to some of y'all comments. Illuminati manuscript say exactly that was my childhood, like / family dynamic, completely. I'm still working on overcoming that. Yeah, it take a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? It's I didn't even think that I had certain issues that I have until I started going through my healing journey and coming out of this, and realizing. I was telling my girl T, she's on the chat, man, but I was telling my girl T the other day, is certain things that happened in my father's situation that I didn't even realize affected my life in certain ways. And because I didn't realize that it affected me in certain ways, I never like looked to address certain things in my own personal life, in my own personal upbringing, and I ended up making a lot of mistakes in my own relationships, things like that. Like, one of the things, I used to be very afraid of having children. You know what I'm saying? That one of the things, like a lot of people don't understand that about me, but I waited until I was 38 years old to have children because I did not, like I was telling T, Anthony Hamilton got the song where he's like, I was scared to have kids and do like my daddy did because I was so scared of failing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I really felt like that. When he sung that, I really felt that line. I felt that vibe because I was extremely afraid to have children because I felt like I was, inadequate because of the things that was projected onto me from my father. People telling me, oh, you just like your dad. Oh, you just like your father. And I saw how my father was not emotionally there because of the drug addiction. You know what I'm saying? It don't always have to be narcissism for one of your parents to be emotionally not there and emotionally unavailable for you. But mine ended up being due to drug addiction, that kind of thing. So I always felt like my life had to be perfect before I had children. You know what I'm saying? I had to, I gotta have the house, and so I worked for these things. And I'm not saying, I bought my home at 28 years old. I pressed myself to get into the home because I wanted to, have these things in place. Like, I gotta have the perfect house so that I can raise my family in, and then I gotta have the perfect wife for this, and then I gotta have the perfect, money situation to be a good dad and all of these kind of things, not realizing that everything that I needed to be a good father was already inside of me. I already had the love. I already had like the passion for my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can see, man, my son is my world. I already had, like, if I couldn't give my son $1 to, in this world, I still have so much to give him. I have so much love and encouragement and just, I'm there for him in a lot of different ways that I didn't have nobody there for me. I'm encouraging to him, you know what I'm saying? He already, like, he can already come to me and talk to me. He's 3 years old, but he can already feel comfortable coming and talking to me about whatever it is that, and I want to like foster that type of relationship and that type of environment for him, that kind of thing. So, it was like a lot of stuff that I felt like I was insecure about or lacking. I didn't even realize that these are things that God had already placed inside of me. These are things that I had already, it's like skill sets that just came naturally to me. It was natural for me to love on my son. It was natural for me to recognize that he has his own wants and he like don't want to be up under daddy all day long. He wants to play with other kids and that kind of thing. So I make it a point to let him go do his thing. I make it a point to, let him go to the trampoline parks and have fun with him and all of that kind of stuff. But I also try to, be a disciplinarian as well, not to the point like where I'm, spanking him and, that kind of thing all the time. But I do want to, I don't want to, I don't want him running over top of me or anybody else either. So I also, try to, instill, I'm still a father. I'm not trying to be his best friend. You know what I'm saying? Even though he is my best friend, he doesn't even realize it yet. But, he's definitely, one of my best friends already. But, I'm not, my aim is to be a good parent, and some of that requires me to be a good friend, but then also some of that is going to require me to be, a disciplinarian as well. So I try to just have a balance with how I approach life with him and that kind of thing. But I just felt inadequate for years, to the point where I didn't want to have children. I was afraid to have children because I felt like I said, I didn't want to become just like my dad was. And even though I didn't do the things, like my lifestyle is totally different. When you grow up like that and you hear you're just like your father, you're just like this, you're just like that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Then you look just like him. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like when you see a picture of me, my dad, and my son, it's like yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I look like him. People tell me I act like him as far as like my temperament and how I carry myself and all of that kind of stuff. And then past that, it's like, now people are telling you, you're going to end up just like him, or you're going to end up just like this. And he was a great guy. He was a great person, so I don't want to take nothing away from his legacy or who he was. He was a great person, but addiction basically ran his life, and he ended up not, being able to be who he fully could have been if it wasn't for the drugs, that kind of thing. So, hey, like I said, I just want to chop it up with y'all real quick. LJ said my childhood was the same. I'm 40 and I struggle with having a voice. Yeah, yeah, it's coming out of, it's like, so talking about having a voice, like coming out of the narcissistic relationship, right? Like empaths, and especially super empaths, we have a high sense of justice. Like we want to see things go right in life. We want to see things pan out right in life. We don't want to see people get bullied and taken advantage of and all of that kind of stuff. So what the circumstances of what I went through in, the experience coming out of like the discard and like feeling disrespected by her, feeling disrespected by her family, feeling disrespected by like all of the people that was involved in the situation, it had me mad. You know what I'm saying? It like, what I'm saying? Like, but when I say like a righteous type of anger, I wasn't angry. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I gotta admit, keeping it all the way funky, but y'all keeping it all the way solid. There was a nice period of time where I wanted revenge. You know what I'm saying? I was seeking. You know what I'm saying? I was plotting on revenge because I felt like I was just done wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was done completely wrong, and I was just like, man, look, you know, I don't know who they think they playing with, but okay, let's play. You know what I'm saying? So it was a nice little period of time where I wanted to go through that, but in the end of things, I'm like, nah, I can't do that. And then I felt like I was stepping on God's toes. I felt like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I, me taking revenge into my own hands is not allowing God to do his job, and not allowing God to, it's basically me having a lack of faith that he's going to work this situation out. And honestly, to be 100%, the Bible never said weapons wouldn't be formed against you. The Bible never says you wouldn't even be struck with those weapons. You know what I'm saying? The Bible just said no weapon formed against you shall prosper. You know what I'm saying? So in all reality, like, yeah, she cut me deep with how she moved. But in all reality, it made me a better person. It made me a better man. It made me a, you know, I had to prove to myself that I could be a good father. You know what I'm saying? I had to prove to myself that, like, you know, all of those fears that I had as a child and not wanting to, you know, not wanting to have, like, not want to voice my opinions, and then growing up and being afraid to have children and all of that kind of stuff because I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, you know, everything got to be so perfect. Everything's got to be right in life, that kind of thing. Like coming from that and then going through and having, like, she got pregnant and then she ghosted. She got, you know, and then once, you know, she ghosted, I have to think about me. I have to think about the things that I did wrong, that kind of thing, all of that kind of stuff. But then going forward, I had to think about, okay, now how do I fix this? How do I make the transition of being a father as smooth as I possibly can, you know, and taking your own accountability. Like I said, instead of, you know, putting out a lot of blame and just, oh my God, I can't do this because of her and I can't do that because of, I just snatched my energy away from her and put it into the things that I needed to in my own personal life. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still afloat. I'm still here to talk to y'all today. I'm still here to, like, share my testimony, and because I feel like a lot of other people may not have had the strength to do that in that moment. You know what I'm saying? And may have prolonged it a little bit further, or may not have even been able to recognize that this is what they're going through, that kind of thing. It took me a while to figure out what I was going through, that kind of thing. But like I said, I was always just one step behind her. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I was learning as I was going, even though I didn't know the terminology, I didn't know what I was dealing with as far as, like, cluster B, narcissism, that kind of thing. But it was just like the moves that she was making, I was always just like a step behind her. So, you know, like I said, I just, you know, wanted to tap in with y'all real quick, show y'all some love. I don't never get a chance to show y'all no love on the live. I'm gonna try to start going live at least once a week or something like that. And I'm also gonna try to start going live on the Facebook channel. I don't get it, you know, it's real hard. Like I said, I'm trying to juggle a lot of things right now. So bear with me, y'all, you know what I'm saying? But I'm definitely gonna start trying to go live here more often because I like tapping in with y'all. I like getting the feedback. I like, you know what I'm saying, being able to read y'all comments, like, in real time, knowing that, you know, it's an audience, like, here, and we're, you know, able to, like, chop it up back and forth. A lot of the stuff that y'all talk about in the comments, it just triggers something in my mind when you say it, like, you know, when you talk about childhood struggle and having a voice, that kind of thing. That's one of the things that, like I said, I struggled with for a very long time. So I feel like it's important for us to have these type of conversations, have the dialogue, go back and forth, and just feed off of each other, man. So I'm here for y'all. Love you guys. I will tap in with y'all a little bit later, man. I absolutely appreciate y'all for stopping past the live. I will, I'll probably share it, like, some of the lives I get, you know, some of them I don't actually share to the channel, but I'll try to, like, keep the ones, like, when we're doing this kind of thing. I'll probably keep this one live and keep it up on the channel. So absolutely love y'all for, you know, stopping past. Thanks for all of the feedback. I will talk to y'all in a minute. And thank y'all for wishing my mom a happy birthday. I'm gonna do a separate video, just, you know what I'm saying, shouting her out and giving her some love for her birthday. But hey, Illuminati, man, namaste. For real, you know what I'm saying? Much love, y'all. I'll catch up with y'all soon. All right.